All right. Now, let's take you through the newspapers this morning. We're joined by Habeeb Haruna, a public affairs analyst, who's going to be x-raying some of these major stories across Nigeria this Monday morning. We kick off with Olive.
Yeah, well, before we get into the paper, if you can, in a few seconds, maybe react. You heard that report, and this is not the first time. You know, there have been other media houses in the past week. Sound City has been called out. A number of media houses have been called out for failure to pay salaries. Dotun, of course, addressed this on X, on his handle, when he addressed his colleagues on Sound City, at Sound City, asking them how they are coping. So let's get your thoughts. In this scenario, they are asking for a transition of their payment platform and saying that if it doesn't happen, there will be a total blackout.
First of all, I'm a journalist before public affairs analyst, and I was the chief press secretary to Governor Femi Otedola. People should know that context. I think it's an unusual thing you are saying this morning. Lagos State is not a poor state in all ramifications. It is possible that there is a communication gap between the union, the leadership of the radio, TV in Lagos State, and the government. The Commissioner for Information in Lagos State was the editor of The Nation, a well-respected professional. So I don't think it's deliberating part of government, you know, to pay them salary. That's why I said it's possible. But I told you who I was. You know, when we were in government, I was very much involved in the way they run that establishment. Governor Mode make sure that everything they wanted were given to them. You know, we wanted to expand it for writing, but was not given a second time. You know, so I think there's a communication gap. I think the government will note what is going on. You know, they will establish rapport with them for the close of today,
right,
and it will be resolved amicably.
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, there's no reason
for this.
I think they've gone through a very decent and respectful way. They've gone
absolutely.
I
like the way your TV. This is the way to report these things. Look at your reporter, look at the unionists, their members, and the police. This is a well-reported incident.
Thank you very much.
And that should be commended.
Thank you very much for that. Let's begin with the Punch newspapers this morning. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, serial outages. Dangote and NPCL, total 247 firms dumped the schools. Generate 6,500 megawatt. Operators blame poor supply for move. Federal government laments exit from national grid. California fire, Trump blames leaders for poor response as 16 killed. APC opposition differ on INEC's 125 billion naira budget request. Stampede, Oyo files murder charges against Oni's ex-queen and others. Wow. Ogun housewife stabs husband to death for alleged infidelity. And we have at the top of the paper, PDP factional secretary set for showdown, vow to resume tomorrow. NAF unveils tough rules to curb MN's exodus. How Qatar intervened to save me from Abacha's gulag, says Obasanjo. And final story, again, 16 civilians killed as NAF bombs Zamfara bandits. We are back here again.
Yeah, sadly. All right, away from the Punch, quickly on the Vanguard newspapers this morning. OPEC quota eludes Nigeria amid rising oil output. Also, PDP crisis, fear grips Secretariat staff as activities resume. Obey court judgment of Femi Otedola as PDP scribe, BOT chair Wabara tells NWC. Emirship tussle, Bayero heads to Supreme Court. Christian elders chide Tinubu for attending Arab Islamic Summit. Serap drags federal government and governors to ECOWAS court over misuse of Cybercrimes Act. Just a few others. Repentant bandits seek forgiveness over atrocities, only in Nigeria. These are the major stories that we have on the Vanguard this morning. So let's quickly bring you in. I'm not sure which of them, you want to, just start with.
Let's look at the issue of the PDP. The PDP has been in crisis all this while. The NWC, which is the highest decision-making body of the party, they've been insisting on the party coming together in unity, to prepare for the next elections. And they've also been approaching Wike. They find it difficult to sanction Wike, I don't know why. And Wike has been trying all the cool to destabilize the party. Now we have the Article factor. In Article 2, appears to be supporting the current acting chairman. And there's a court injunction that the acting chairman should stay until there's the next convention. So the crisis kept repeating itself. That is not a good way to be an opposition party. The opposition party should provide an alternative to the ruling party, to the ruling government, and also try as much as possible to form, to prepare for the next election. But the way we are saying it, the PDP is not ready, and that is very, very sad. If that's infighting in your party, how do you not provide solutions? How do you not provide alternative? How do you not criticize the government of the day? How do you put them on their toes? So that is my problem with that party, and it's unfortunate that Atiku, who was a founding member of that party, out of his own personal ambition, has failed, to rally around the members so that they can come together to fight the APC in the next election. I'm not talking about coalition government, alliance. This is the PDP itself that is the mess. And today, we're likely to see a scenario where two people will Zoom as the national secretary of the party. It does not go well.
Okay.
For both the ruling party, for both the opposition party, and Nigerian democracy.
All right. I'd like us to see as many stories as we can take today. Still on the front page of the Vanguard, there's a story beneath that PDP story, and it says, repentant, okay, no, that's the Vanguard newspaper, not the Punch, please. Repentant bandits seek forgiveness over atrocities. Now, the reports have it that these repentant bandits in Benin, Gwari, Emirate, Buruku, and Sabon Benin communities, that they've appealed for forgiveness for the atrocities that they've committed, pledging to abide by a newly brokered peace agreement. Now, the reports have it that these bandits, a number of them have been isolated within forests for over a decade, and now they've expressed their desire to reintegrate into the society, and they're appealing to the government for support in allowing their children access education and facilitating their return to a stable government. Are you in support of this?
It's not the first time we are seeing people coming out to surrender and repent to what they have committed against Nigerian people, against their own people.
But is there, the idea of repenting?
The process of coming out to repent is my problem. How credible and transparent is that process? So that when you now repent and you are forgiven, won't you go back to your old ways?
No, but what happens to the atrocities that were committed over the 10 years?
Even God forgive us.
That means somebody, so in response to that, somebody can come to this, let me not use the studio, but come somewhere, kill a number of people, and after that come and say,
That's why I said it depends on the process. The process matters a lot. If the process is transparent and credible, who are those involved? Who are the religious leaders involved? Political leaders involved? Military leaders involved? If all these people come together and say, okay, genuinely, these people are coming out to repent what they have done, not all of them will be, I'm sure.
But what do you judge? What process are you talking about, and how do you judge the genuinity of?
No, you can judge if these three segments of the society, the military, the politician, and the religious leaders, if they're involved, they are able to scrutinize their identity. Look at the thoroughness of.
Haruna, no society works.
No, let's be honest with ourselves. But they've been doing it.
Yeah, in Nigeria.
Doesn't make it right, because actions have consequences. So if you are saying that people can come, kill thousands of people, and a decade later now say, oh, I repent of
it depends on
society, forgive me. And is it something that we can apply to all the
how do you prove it that the one involved?
You
know how many people are currently in prison that are apologetic and willing
exactly.
to repent?
In that case, that means if something as grave as terrorism, people that are known terrorists come out to say that they're sorry. And this is not to say, yes, it's been happening, but the fact that it's been happening in Nigeria, should we continue to do that? And Sanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
This is the same country that sentenced a man to death for stealing chicken.
Fowl. So
if the same country couldn't find a way to forgive that person and say, okay, this person is hungry, that's why he stole. That same country is able to understand someone who has committed the act of terrorism, saying he's sorry.
I don't want to take it like that. Because you guys are a bit emotional with this thing.
It's not emotional.
And it's natural. It's natural. But
as I said,
there are many ways of looking at it. If part of the deal,
what deal?
Many things are happening. Look at Afghanistan. Look at America. Even the Hamas.
So
now I want us to, it happens all over, yeah, it's everywhere in the world. It's okay. We are relating to people. The people, these are dead, hard.
No, but what we are saying, Mr. Haruna, is
hostage swaps happen over the world.
Those are hostage. So this one is a different case. This is me saying, this is them saying, Mr. Haruna, the question is, if it then becomes, we continue to allow this become the norm, will it be an excuse when somebody who has maybe been a part of those who have been enforcing the sit-at-home order, or maybe those who have conducted some killings in the East as well, if they come out to say the government should forgive them, they don't want to kill anybody again, will that suffice? Is it okay if the kidnappers too, who have been kidnapping and committing, ritual, the Yahoo people who have done E+, all of them now come out and say, we repent, forgive us. Forgiveness is from God, but crimes have consequences.
No society will develop if criminals are left to go scot-free. I agree with that. There must be consequences for actions. There must be enough capacity on the side of the state to prosecute people that are found guilty of committing criminal offenses. I absolutely agree with that. But there is also a soft part of it that people that want to repent should be allowed to do so. But the process, I said, must be transparent and credible. Who are those involved in this? If you said terrorist, that is a large swap of definition. Who are the terrorists? Who are the real leaders of these people? If they are coming to say, okay, want to surrender, I'm going to say that they should not surrender. The job of the state, the duty of the state is to look at them, scrutinize it, make sure it's transparent.
Surrender doesn't mean that you will not be prosecuted.
Of course, they should.
Yeah, so what
that's what they are saying. If they are saying for forgiveness and being reintegrated into... So that's what we're trying to clarify. These people here don't sound like they don't want to go, they want to be reintegrated into society.
It don't mean that if before you to be given 30 years imprisonment, they can reduce it to 5 to 10.
Okay.
Not to just go home. You have forgiven and go home. No society work like that.
Okay. Anyway, again, the story says repent. No, because let's not act like we haven't also seen where bandits, repentant terrorists were giving cold Fanta and meat pie
and incorporated into security agencies
in the same country. I mean, so this is not new information.
They call it peace-building strategies.
Bandits, if the argument, if the argument is, and this has been logical, if the argument is that we have a group of people, they aided terrorists. They didn't necessarily kill anybody, but maybe they gave them pure water on their way to go and
information.
Information. And you say, okay, you want to give these people lighter sentences because they didn't actually commit those crimes. They were, somehow, some way part of youth crimes committed. I would understand that. But if you are arguing that the terrorists can simply say that, I've given up terrorism, please forgive me, and then there's a process with which you... No country on earth, developed.
Because according to the news report here, there's nothing about prosecution. What they're saying is that they are asking that their children be given opportunity to go to school, and they're saying that they will be happy if the government gives our quote, we'll be happy. We have lived in the forest far from city life for more than 10 to 15 years, and would therefore be happy if the government gives us sense of belonging and allowed our children to go to school. And they're grateful for the Peace Pact. So there was nothing about that. Anyway, let's move that conversation away from there to another story.
I want to talk about the Emirate tussle as Adebayo heads to Supreme Court.
The Habeeb Court came out on Friday that the state has responsibility of appointing emirs, local government and the state, not federal government. It's not a federal government matter at all. So, and the governor came out and said, now that the court has spoken, all the parties should respect the judgment of the court.
Yeah.
And status quo should be maintained. So the emir is now saying that now that we have spoken, we are proceeding to the Supreme Court. Let's see to his conclusion. And I think it's ideal. I think this is the first time in recent memory that you see two people competing for that stool in modern day Nigeria. And I think the court is doing the right thing.
Why do you think that was?
It's political, my brother. And it's unfortunate. I was in Kano for 7 years. The emir of Kano is like a demigod. But when the emir is passing, you dare not walk. You come down and do like this. I've been forced to do it. It's Abungari. You know, so I think it's not political. And I'm surprised that this thing can be shrouded in politics. The emir of Kano after the Sultan of Sokoto, they are revered people, you know, but they politicize everything. So it's unfortunate. But I think reasoning should prevail. The court intention should be respected, and Sanusi should be given his right honor and respect as the emir of Kano.
All right. I want us to take the story, and it's our final story. The mistaken airstrike. The reports have it that there was the airstrike reportedly targeted at neutralizing bandits, mistakenly killed lives of innocent citizens in Nigeria. We have had this conversation over and over and over again. How long will Nigerian civilians, Nigerian citizens, be collateral damage?
I think it's unfortunate that civilians will be casualties. We fall into these deadly strikes by the Nigerian Air Force. And I think yesterday the defense headquarters came out to explain what happened, that they are still investigating, that they've not really seen. It's not something that they've seen that happens, that was not deliberate. They've not agreed. The last one that happened, I think in is it Katsina or which state, they agreed that was a mistake. But the one that took place yesterday, where 16 civilians were killed, they've not come out to confirm the incident, you know. But I think it's two ways to it. These people should be very careful. As we are pursuing these terrorists, you should not kill civilians in the process. No one does. No people. There's no way you can.
But they are killing civilians. And at the end of the day, what we're seeing is, on the one hand, they will tell you that they.
Punch said 16 civilians were killed, not allegedly killed. You know, it shows that they got the report very well.
Daily Trust reports it as 15 killed in Zamfara.
Killed, not alleged. So this is not acceptable in any decent society. But don't also forget, the second leg is that these terrorists hide in the midst of civilians to commit their atrocities. So it will be difficult for the Air Force, the planes, you know, to target those guys without killing innocent civilians.
Is our approach even working? Because I mean, I'm going to bring back the General Christopher Musa, conversation, where he spoke about the last 15 years of these people just, still being able to exist and arm themselves and function. So is this approach that we are currently using, is it even working? This one that is costing civilian lives that they will call collateral damage and whatnot, is that approach even working? Are we looking to continue for the next 5-10 years of still not being able to defeat these guys?
Bros, I also watched that video. Who's funding these people? Who's sponsoring them? I told you an incident last week in the Senate.
Yeah.
When the Senate president put it into vote, that we need to investigate how the money we are sending on these things, the money we are budgeting for budget, the money we are using to fund this project, this fight against terrorism, how they spending the money. He put it to vote, and the nays had it. And most of the people that spoke against it were from the north. So 2 + 2 is 4. So this is not rocket science to decipher.
Yeah.
These people are not interested in ending it. It's a project. They're making money from it. And it will not end soon until the deliberate and assertive effort on the part of the president to put his leg down. Come, gentlemen, enough is enough.
Yeah. So what then? So if we know this, I mean, if this is true, if this is true, then why then are we just continuing this long process of military airstrikes and attacks at these places when back in the office they know that these things will not, it's not going to end.
Things don't work that way. There are many things that the more you look, the less you see in government. People that are supposed to approve the money for them, appropriate funds for them, they are saying that they will not investigate. We are doing our job as a journalist.
Yeah.
To scrutinize what they are doing, to hold them accountable. But they are not ready to do that. That's why I said the commander-in-chief will need to be more decisive in telling these people that no, this thing must stop. You retire from office as chief of army staff, and you are establishing a university. And who is asking questions? So if you don't probe, if you don't hold these guys accountable, if you don't make sure that the money meant for buying arms, they are doing it, spending the money on the right things, we continue to have this problem.
Well, it's just really unfortunate that we keep going around. It feels like we're going around in circles. Not to say that our military are not doing work. You know, in 2 days we'll be celebrating Armed Forces Remembrance Day, but we can't keep losing civilian lives over and over again and getting apologies. It's like, if the ISR being done, is it thorough? Did they get adequate information? Like, where can we trace it to?
Who is funding them? And the more the money comes in, how do you conduct an investigation? How do you prove the money going to the defense headquarters? In the prosecute this what against terrorism.
All right, we need to go now. Mr. Habeeb Haruna, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Breakfast Central.
Just before we go, I think you can quickly comment on the story on the Punch. It's not a story, but I think you spoke about this last week, and that is the picture of
President Bola Tinubu and Femi Otedola.
I was thinking you guys will talk about it. You see, this man is saying, I'm now the chairman of First Bank. My duty and job is to protect shareholders and depositors. And when I opened the book, I realized that someone is owing us everything, both the principal and the interest, going to about $260 million. We told the man to come and pay. And the man is blackmailing us. That's what is going on. So that picture means a lot. It is in about 4 or 5 papers today, front page. So Nduka is using his own paper this day to fight Otedola. Otedola is a boardroom guru. You understand this game? That is what you are saying. And the way it looks, it will be difficult for Nduka to be off this hook. It's not a new thing that most of some people in this paper are not being paid regularly. They're paid them in a rise, But you don't do these things without facing the consequence. You borrow money, and you want them to be looking at you. You don't try to blackmail them. That's what I say. You can't blackmail me. I have a job to do, and my job is to make sure you pay that money. And the picture you are seeing connotes many things. That I'm in Dubai, I'm in Abu Dhabi, with the Nigerian president, the commander-in-chief, and there are many things going on under the water. Your enemy is the enemy of your enemy is my friend.
How do you see this ending then?
No. The man will pay. He's in a mess. This day publisher is in a mess. No, I don't envy him. He's been very, very audacious all this while, and he's dealing with people and using his platforms to try to hoodwink you or intimidate you. But this man is telling him that no, it doesn't work that way. They've been friends. But Otedola and Bagbena have been very good friends in many ways, But if I were you, from the shoes of Otedola, I would do the same thing. I have to protect my investment, protect people that are putting money in my bank, which I'm the largest shareholder. I also make sure that depositors' money is not toyed with. And that kind of money, that's a lot of money. You borrow money, you are not paying interest. And I now only tell you to come and pay. They say, Oga, come and settle this thing, and started blackmailing them. It doesn't work like that. And there's a court order that all the money the man has in the banks, they should not give me a dime from it. It's only his tax cutter now. And they're trying to beg Otedola. And the man said, no. And so that picture shows you that, no, the game is on. We are watching.
HMMMM.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. As in, this is a really situation.
Thank you very much, for stopping by.
Thank you for stopping by.
As always, interesting analysis on these stories. We look forward to seeing you again.